um, hey guys, I just seen news where the Pittsburgh Steelers just released Desmond King and bringing in a rookie that will more than likely never play. But mainly, I want to talk about Desmond King. So we bring over Desmond King. I believe it was a signing. He got released and we signed for him. Um, but we used him mainly as a returner. And yeah, the Steelers really never cease to disappoint me even more. And just to point out, I know a lot of Steeler fans are probably pissed right now because we pretty much just signed him for nothing. He could have played, but he didn't even touch the field unless it was on special teams. That's poor fucking coaching. It's not just on the defensive coordinator, it's on special team, or not special team, but like Mike Tomlin and the rest of this. It's like, fuck this damn team, man. Like, they never do anything right. And the additions that we made in the off season haven't shown up. Being honest, the only people that have shown up is Alex Highsmith, T.J. Watt, and our rookie cornerback, Joey Porter Jr. So we signed Desmond King, a guy that's really good, who's been a really good corner. I believe he's played a little bit of slot or nickel, whatever he was used in previously. I hope I at least got one of those right. But why would you not use him? Why would you not use him in the game? You could have put him on the field so many times, and yet you decide to keep who out there? Levi Wallace. And not only that, if that doesn't show how much Steelers really don't give a fuck about their team at all, they end up when Dan Moore Jr., which is back in practice, he's getting first team reps. I don't know why they're doing that. He's the reason why Kenny got a freaking concussion last year. Twice. Let's just keep that in mind. Twice last year. And the Kenny's knee injury, which was a stupid play call by Canada, which, are we even surprised? That dude can't even fucking he couldn't make a freaking cup of coffee if he wanted to, because he'll get somebody pissed off by how bad the coffee just looks. And yet we keep him. They're looking to continue with him, which, let's be honest, we weren't. I wasn't even going away thinking that they would release him, because that's not what Pittsburgh does. They'll wait until the end of the season to cut him. Um, Byron Leftwich, I'd like to see in there next season, just to get a good feel for a new offensive coordinator. Is he the best? No, but his play calling is at least decent. Matt Canada doesn't even touch decent. In fact, he makes decent laugh at how poor he fucking coaches. It's not on him, not all on him. It's on the players as well. They played piss poor this season. The only one out of the offensive line that hasn't played piss poor is freaking our rookie left tackle Broderick Jones. Broderick Jones has stepped up and done more in just 2 games than what Dan Moore has done probably in his whole career. That's being honest and polite. So what do? If I was Pittsburgh, I would literally keep Broderick Jones in there. Why would you go away from what is helping? Not saying that the whole line doesn't need to get it together, they do, but Broderick allowed what? One pressure in the last game that he was in versus the Ravens? I don't know, but he was playing solid. He was looking like what we were hoping. And of course he's a stud. So here's another thing I would like to say is put Joey Porter Jr. in. Take Levi Wallace out or something, or Patrick Peterson, somebody. Put them on the bench and put him in. And let him get more minutes, because he is the reason, him and TJ are the reason that we won that game versus Baltimore. There's absolutely no reasoning behind it why the rest of this defense is playing shit. And people can make the excuse that you're getting all up in your feelings. No. Here's what I got to say about people like that. It's like, fuck off. I haven't seen a Super Bowl in which would be 17 years now. I'm 24 years old. I was 7 years old when they won the damn Super Bowl. And I'm 24 years old now. I'm not getting any younger. I mean, I am young, but number only goes up from here. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'd like to see the Steelers win a Super Bowl way before I'm even off this earth. Keanu Benton's had a pretty decent year. I mean, you don't want to expect anything spectacular from which I didn't. Just to stop the run, which he's been doing. Being honest, when he's in there, he gets in the backfield, he can pressure the quarterback. He still can learn from that. He gets to the running back to stop the run, and like, what else could you want? DeMarvin Leal's back at practice. Being honest, he hasn't really had such a good start, but he's, I don't know, can I say decent? I'll say decent year, but above anything else, well, I don't know. Does he have a QB sack this year? It's been that horrible about this team. That's how much this team fucking sucks. We got the highest paid defense, and they can't even fucking stop a team. Keep in mind, stop a team like the Texans. Now, granted, a lot of people will say, well, the Texans are a underdog team. They'll do good, pretty decent. They show it. They do show it. But there is absolutely no freaking reason we should have lost that game. That is absolutely unacceptable. And I see Mike Tomlin's freaking press conference. He gets asked a honest question about or I believe it was the opposing team's threats. Oh, I'm just gonna shake it off. And of course, he didn't even answer. It's like he just let it bypass through his head. That's what I absolutely fucking hate about Mike Tomlin. He lets one thing somebody says when it's a good question and a question that needed to be answered, he didn't answer it. He basically just tried to make up a quick question that was kind of right, kind of dumb, but I just think that this whole entire team needs to be revamped. The fucking coaching staff needs to go. Both coordinators need to go and get somebody who is young and that knows this damn organization, who can take his team and have them fuel and be at the top of their game. And they just don't have it. I mean, look at what the Dolphins had. Brian Flores, they barely even pulled out wins. Now, Grant Brian Flores is more of a defensive minded coach, but still, you 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 can't sit there and expect to do the same thing and then it would work. It doesn't work that way. You need an offense and a defense to win championships. Granted, they say defense wins championships. And this team doesn't even play like it. There's so much wrong with this fucking team, and they disappoint me so much in this season. I mean, it's more disappointing than last season. I'd seriously, in my mind, now here's what I think. If I believe that they're going to have a losing season, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, well, Mike Tomlin will have his first losing season, which I do not give a shit about. I really don't. I wish that he was gone. I wish this whole fucking coaching staff was gone. We need a young coach in there who knows what he's doing, who can take this team to the next level, and they haven't proved it. That with Mike Tomlin, he's been the coach for Pittsburgh for 17 years now, and he has won Super Bowl as a head coach. I guess I'll throw in the one as the defensive assistant coach for the Bucks, but that's two different positions. Granted, that's two Super Bowls, but he wasn't the head coach for the Bucks at the time. And the big problem with it is every time fans chant things like "Fire Canada," they act like they don't hear it, even though they do. And it's not only happening at Steelers games; it's happening at the Penguins games. Happening at the Penguins games. Like, I don't know how much more clear you can get than that. But nobody, it's like they don't care about what the fans think. They don't care. It's like with players now. It used to be when I grew up watching guys like Troy and stuff, they would actually care about the game. But now it's like if players get their contracts and big money, they don't want to fucking play. They play good in preseason, but then they just absolutely go to shit in regular season. And for anybody who says that that this offensive line didn't face starting lineups, yes, the fuck they did. The Buffalo Bills, I don't care if they had Ed Oliver on there or not, they still played their starters through the second half of the whole game. And Pittsburgh dominated them. They were looking good. We were putting up more than 17 points. And this offense can put up that much, but again, it goes to the fact that if your players don't have faith in your coaching staff and what they're doing And not only that, but in the scheme of all of the game that they have to work with, this is going to be another one of those. Well, it took us this long to figure out what Matt Canada was doing. If he is not gone in the off season, then this has to be the most uh, the most idiotic freaking coaching staff in the league. In fact, I'm not even going to uh, kid around. It literally is a joke. This team's a joke. Our rookies are playing better than the guys we signed. Guys that have been there for a few years and some almost a decade now. So what happens? We have to rely solely again. Thank gosh it's not only TJ that we have to rely on, but Alex Highsmith, he's been doing really good this season. I mean, I don't see any problems there. Then you have guys that step up, like for instance, in the red zone, Joey Porter Jr. versus Odell Beckham. Now, Odell Beckham ain't really what he used to be. He really isn't. Um, but nonetheless, he's still a solid receiver when healthy. And on that play, that was a game saver for Pittsburgh when Joey Porter Jr. picked it. And that was his first interception of his young NFL career. And hopefully there's many more to come. And I do believe there are many more to come. Um, yeah, this team's so freaking out of whack. I don't get why they're so terrible all the time. Now, here's another thing that they do. They're too predictable. When they put Najee in, every defense that we play is going to know that we're going to be running with Najee when he is on the field. Get him involved with passing, because utilizing his ability and agility in the backfield or coming out of the backfield as a pass catcher or receiver, whatever you want to call him, has worked. He's done it before. But we're just not using him. We're not doing anything about it. We're not using it. The only person we use in passing is Jalen Warren. He's the only running back we use as a passing running back. I don't get it. 4th and 1, we go for it. Option QB, which was going to fail from the word get-go instead of actually trying to sneak it. And I know people will think, okay, well, he's just getting in his feelings. He don't know football. That's what I got for people like that. Fuck the people who actually think that, because they're probably freaking Rams fans. But us Steelers fans go through hell and back with this team. And for a lot of fans out there, instead of watching their team when their team's down by a lot, they walk out. How many actually stays in a room to watch their team play, even when it's at their most worst? I stay in the room and watch them. I watch the Steelers. I grew up a freaking diehard fan of two teams. That was Steelers and the Dolphins. I stuck with the Dolphins for a long ass time, and look at where they're at now. They're considered Super Bowl contenders. But people want to criticize you for getting into your feelings about your own team. Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't I? We're losing. Why the hell wouldn't I get my feelings? And it's not just feelings, it's anger because you know how good this team can be, but they're just not showing it. And another thing is I get tired of these people who say, "Well, back in the day, back in the 80s and stuff, you really didn't see what I saw." It's like, actually, what the fuck does that have to do with now? What does that have to do with now? It's like when people expected country music from back in the day to stay the same in new generation, and thus look at what they did. They got disappointed. They wanted country songs to be about how bad, how hard life was, and not to be a happy song. It's like those people are so fucking depressing, and they blame that time period on the decisions that they made. That doesn't affect you on what you are now. You have a choice to be who you are. We all have a choice. I choose to be a good person. But if somebody talks back to me and tries being tough towards me, I'm not going to sit there and just pretend like I'm just going to let it go and they just shit on me all the time. I get into arguments over football games, yeah. That's normal. That's expected. I get pissed off when the Steelers are down more than freaking 10, 15 points, or more than 7 points. But somehow, when we say that this game is over, they end up coming back and somehow pulling a fucking miracle out their ass. So the question is, it's not what timeline you come from, or what era you come from. It's about what is going on in the field now. Not then. Those guys were the best to ever do it back in the day. Mean Joe Green. Uh, Jeez, Mel Blunt. All, Jack Ham. You had guys like Ted Hendricks. Who else? It's just a whole list of guys you can think about. A whole list. Donnie Shell. But we're wrong for being upset over how the coaching staff has done their job, on what a piss poor job. Yeah, let's just forget about the piss poor freaking job that they do every fucking game. And people want to use the expression, "Oh well, they're just it's a lot harder to coach in the NFL. People don't realize it." No, we realize it and we see it, but they're also professionals that have done it for years. That's no excuse anymore. That's the lamest fucking excuse in the book. Every time I sit there, I look at a play just fall apart, and what ends up happening? I look over and see Mike Tomlin just sitting there smiling with a stupid grin on his face. And every time he has a press conference, it always ends with the word obviously. That's his go-to word, obviously. Obviously may be imprinted into his fucking head. I want to see my team win a Super Bowl. Yeah, am I pissed off right now? Yes. Because this team absolutely is pure dog shit. And not dried up dog shit, it is fresh dog shit. Like, it once you step in it, it's just, you know what the smell is going to be like. And the stench of wiping it off. That is this whole entire fucking organization and the team right now. I am not going to hold back on my feelings towards this team. They've sucked. They're going to suck in their next game versus the Rams because we got to worry about Aaron Donald, which won't end well. You know Aaron Donald's going to get to the quarterback because we can't protect a fucking fly if it was pinned to a damn wall. So we end up bringing in this Darius Rush guy. I have no idea who he is. To me, I guess he's just going to be a practice squad. In fact, he is going to be practice squad. This could be a big... I can't even say a big thing for him because it won't be. They do nothing. They fix nothing. And they sit on and they pick at it while they're sitting there kissing each other's assholes. They're probably licking them dry. Yeah, it's disgusting, but hey, it might as well because Art Rooney obviously has a major hard on. Him and Mike Tomlin both for each other because they trust each other too much. As bad as that may sound, I don't care. I just don't care. He is literally, Terry Bradshaw called him called him out. Terry Bradshaw called Mike Tomlin out. He said he's not a head coach. He doesn't put the fear in them. He's a cheerleader, and that's exactly what he is. That's exactly what the fuck he is. That's all he's been through his entire career. Was a cheerleader at a coaching position. I'm sick and tired of him. As much as anybody wants to say, oh, well, who are you going to replace him with? I don't give a fuck. You can replace him with Goofy. Oh, what? Well, everybody, it's time to go out there and win this game. Goofy has more freaking spirit than that. This team's just a freaking nightmare. This whole organization is a nightmare. And they don't want to win. The only guys who want to win is Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, and Joey Porter Jr. It's almost like Minka ain't even reliable anymore right now this season because they play him in the slot because we can't trust any of our other players. And even Minka's not doing good in the slot. Like, what? Why are you playing Minka in the slot when you can keep him back there at free safety, which that is his preferred position? Want to know why he doesn't get any stats? Because people dread throwing his way. That's the truth. They know anytime a ball is in his area, if it's against anybody, they know he's a threat. And that he'll 9 times out of 10 come up with the interception. But who fears this defense? Nobody. Nobody fears it. The only person that they fear on this defense is TJ Watt. That is it. And if it wasn't for Porter Jr., TJ Watt, and Alex Highsmith, especially Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt at the end of the game, that would have been a game-winning drive, and I would have seen it. Even how piss poor the Ravens team played. But they need to clean shit up. It's the same fucking crap. It's always going to be that until they finally just let the whole coaching staff go. If Matt Canada's gone, then we'll promote our freaking uh quarterbacks coach or whoever that is, or offensive line coach, which won't do any good. Literally, the dude that I'm talking about has been let go from literally before the season. I guess before the season started. I don't take that to heart or anything, but he got released by the fucking New York Giants after they let go their head coach. What? What does that tell you about him? Another reason why you need a coaching staff to be to do good at their job, because the players will not have any faith in them and their coaching. It's literally like watching listen to a never-ending song. It's just on loop. It's the same fucking thing over and over again. I know I've put out the F word a lot in this damn thing and probably repeated myself, but still, what is the problem with every damn season now? We haven't had a good coordinator since Todd Haley. That's the truth. And Pittsburgh has had a guy very well known in Pittsburgh, or was the backup to Michael Vick, I believe, before he retired, or something. No, the backup to Ben at one point is Byron Leftwich. He is, through his days playing, or not playing, but like being coordinator with the Bucks for those few seasons, he did solid. I think he had like one bad year with them. And I'm not. Am I saying that they'll be a huge upgrade? No, but bring in a coordinator that will give these guys confidence. Because it's literally, Canada's offense is so confusing that it's going to take the guys until the end of the year. The end of the season, sorry. Might as well be the end of the year, because the end of the season is close to December. But again, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I'm the wrong one. I don't know football, right? Everybody is a fucking critic when it comes to thinking that us Steeler fans don't know what we're talking about. If it's not making an excuse for how bad the teams played, it goes to, oh, well, back in the day, this and that shit. I get so sick and tired of people like that. If you don't like watching them, then stop watching them. It's like what Kevin Hart said in his irresponsible Netflix original. He said, put the fucking game piece back in the box. Get the fuck up, you lost. And of course, in that, he said, he was making a joke, but still, he goes, "You're gonna do me like that? You're gonna do your wife like that?" And he goes, "Yes, it's a game. All I want to do is win." And this team, if DJ Khaled was out there, he would have more freaking stamina than most these fucking players. But DJ Khaled, I like his music. He's not. I haven't listened to any other music. I've heard of the song All I Do Is Win, or All We Do Is Win. Yeah, All I Do Is Win. Uh, But let's be honest about this. Pittsburgh doesn't win. When they do win, it's like, yeah, we'll take it and move on, but we won't be happy about the outcome of what the game really looked like. Because it's going to be the same shit week in and week out. It's going to continue to just be a clusterfuck, which is what this entire organization is a clusterfuck. It's so disappointing to think that this team was like, yeah, we're going to be better in this season, but yet we have 0 rushing touchdowns. We're lucky to have a passing touchdown. And I believe one of the few touchdowns we've gotten was to George Pickens. And even if Deontay Johnson comes back, yeah, he can get separation. He's probably the most underrated and best receiver to give separation. But even then, when Deontay gets the ball, he freaking just dances, trying to do all these moves and stuff when there's an opening right there he could take. But if not, even when he gets the catch over or past the first down marker, he jumps back over. So he's got to work on that more, I hope. Pat Fryermuth might be considered the forgotten guy because he hasn't had a solid season yet. But it doesn't help that Kenny's been so inaccurate. He's been having such a bad season, being inaccurate in itself. They say he cleaned things up, but I know going into this game, when I do watch it, I have to have my friend come up and set up Fox Sports for it. But still, I have 0 expectations going into the game versus the Rams. And I just can't see a point of where we look at this Steelers team and say, yeah, this is going to be a change around after the bye. Yes, Mike Tomlin's like 12-4 coming out of the bye. So that's my literally my reaction is, so what's that mean? Like, really, it's all about records with him. That's it. That's all he's been known for, is the records. And like I said, and I believe I said it in my last video I made a few days ago, or made like a day or two ago, he needs to do something now, because if not, when his contract runs out, I hope that they just absolutely do a clean sweep of this whole coaching staff. I said it in this video tons of times, but I don't care. I want a fresh face at head coach. I get sick and tired of seeing our free safety have to play in the slot every time because the other guys can't step up. And Minka, even when he is going in for a play, he ain't making tackles. Like we literally had to have freaking Larry Ogunjobi track down a running back, and thank goodness he got kind of slowed down and was doing some moves, and he knocked the ball out. He didn't give up on the play. The rest of them just looked like they were going backwards. The opposite direction, upfield, not coming downfield. Upfield where the damn Ravens were moving. I still think that Lamar Jackson is a running back at QB, as much as anybody would like that or not. There's plenty of fans who will say that, and they're right. He's good in passing, but his freaking lobs to his wide receivers are so terrible, and he needs to work on them. Lamar is a fun guy to watch, but until, like I said before, until he wins a damn playoffs and can prove that he can take his team to the Super Bowl, there is nobody, regardless of what organization you're a fan of, there's only one thing that matters, and every fan can agree to this. Winning. Winning is everything. They're not going to judge you on how good of a great effort you give, because a great effort isn't enough. It's like from the movie We Are Marshall. He says that was a good effort out there, but a good effort is not enough. He said, but I'm proud of you, but I will not accept losing with you. There's only one thing that they judge us on, one thing that matters, and it ain't how we play the game. Winning is everything. Any coach that is worth a damn in the sports world will believe those words. Any of them that are worth a damn will believe them. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people not understand. Some people won't get it. I don't know how you couldn't, but unless you're in denial. It's like this. Look, and this ain't even any shot towards the other teams, but look at teams like the Packers. They get rid of Aaron Rodgers. They started out good, but then they have the injury bug and start losing. Everybody was talking about how good Jordan Love is. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's been inconsistent on a lot of his passes. A lot of the time. I know I said that like 3 times, but still. He's been inconsistent, and they barely can even run the ball, which I've seen quite a bit in their games. They can't get a running attack, and I know what a lot of people are going to think. Lots of fans are going to say this team is young. That's still no excuse. So is the Steelers' offensive line, but yeah, you see sometimes where they have freaking open holes to run through the damn defense. I'm just tired of looking at the same damn movie. The same movie over and over again. It's still no excuse. Being young in the NFL cannot be an excuse. You go from college to the NFL because you want to be here. But if you're just going there to pick up a paycheck and that's it, I would be like, dude, get out. Because that's not how you should run a team or how you should think going into a big league as the NFL. It's sad, but that's the way it is now. But again, I'm going to say this before anything else. I'm still getting into hockey. I am a Penguins fan. They've played good, but also a little bit of they can work on a lot. The little things that need to be taken care of. Again, I'm not too big on hockey yet. I love the physical sports. It's taken me some time, and I will get Penguins content out eventually, not just Steeler content. I'll be able to do Pirates and stuff once I learn it more. That will definitely be coming if I can keep space on my freaking tablet, because it sucks when you plan for something and then it just falls apart. But again, I like how the Penguins are playing. Their defensemen have stepped up in a few times so far. But yeah, y'all don't want me to get started on the GM of the damn Pirates, because I can tell you right now, I could cuss that freaking lame ass son of a bitch out so much that it wouldn't even be funny. And I technically just did. I called him a son of a bitch because he sucks at his job. He can't do anything right for that team. And hopefully things change eventually. But I'm just not seeing it with the Pirates. We had a good run, yeah, but then it's like, and I'm not even going to say like when O'Neal Cruz went down. Grant, I think he's our fastest runner. I might be wrong. I don't know, but again, when he got injured, looking back on it, it was a very unnecessary slide. He could just like literally dove. Um, but hope he comes back at 100%. I just don't see how this team's gonna get better. I hope that I'm wrong on both sides of these teams, the Pirates and Steelers. I'll throw in the Penguins there too, but they're not as disappointing. They're actually showing heart. If do the Steelers really know what heart is? You know, it's where you go out there, you give it all you got, but to me, I just look at it being it looks like a fucking NFL team running over a damn a freaking uh little league team. That's literally what it looks like. That's all it looks like ever. And this is the first game, if anybody didn't know, where Kenny didn't even throw an interception. Hallelujah. He didn't throw an interception. But I have a feeling that there's going to be I'm going to count, and this is what I think is going to happen. There's going to be like freaking, with just, even with Aaron Donald by himself, he's going to have a career game versus Pittsburgh. This whole defense is. And the fact that we're going to have to rely more on, because get used to it, because we're going to have to rely more towards the defense to bail us out again. If you say that we won't have to, then stop lying to yourself. This team can't. This team can't even go. This team's lucky to make it past 5 yards or 15. And at one point, we played so badly, which was versus the Texans, we didn't even score a touchdown. Yeah, we won versus the Ravens, but us Steelers fans were kind of hoping that they wouldn't at the same time, just for Matt Canada to get fired. As bad as anybody wants to say, you're a bad person for wanting him to be fired. Why? Because he sucks at his fucking job? Mike Tomlin sucked this year. And look at, do you see any Steeler fan that's paying attention like me, that understands that you got to have a good coach that isn't repeating everything. We solely rely on the run, which every team knows that. It's going to be freaking pass, and run. It's not going to be different. The only way it ends up being different is if Kenny calls his own play. which he even admitted in a press conference, or no, in a thing he put out towards social media or something, saying that he called that play that won towards George Pickens that got us the win. So, if that doesn't tell you how much he stinks, I don't know what to tell you. Then you're just a lost cause. You're just a lost cause. That's it. This team's just such a disappointment, man. Even though we won, it don't matter. They haven't shown that they deserve to be Super Bowl contenders. They haven't proven to be in a good spot in the standings, which I don't know how. Every time I just want to yell out the word how every time we win a game, because this team just is that bad. It's that horrible, that horrific to watch. It's like this. It's like watching Peter Griffin try to get somebody to replace that one dude that was supposed to be the baseball player in the second episode or something, second, third episode. It's like, that's literally what it is. And then and call me a bad person or what, because this was funny. Whenever he punches somebody, but then he gets, which of course it wasn't, to a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people found it as offensive, considering that the person he punched was a woman which looked like a man. Family Guy doesn't hold back, man. They freaking don't give two flying shits of a zero fuck attitude. And just to be honest, when somebody's title on YouTube ends up being "This is not meant for snowflakes," which means people who get so pissed off about it don't watch the show. If you get mad at making fun of religion of any kind, which, why people get upset? They don't want people to be happy. They don't want people to laugh. Am I not the only one that laughed at that freaking Black Jesus scene? That was hilarious. Oh yeah, and another thing is, before I end this video, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso lose the damn tag belts after winning them at Fastlane not even this past, what was it, Sunday? And then they come on the freaking show, have a title match, and they lose it. I'm tired of WWE, man. They suck. And I know people was like, get your facts together and stuff and all that. No, I've watched this since I was freaking this freaking high to a grasshopper, man. I know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. I know this shit's fake. I know that already. You don't have to tell me nothing I don't already know. But when you have to have old people come in, old wrestlers that, in my honest opinion, wrestle better even at their age than these guys did. That's the only way crowds get a pop anymore. It just stinks, dude. Football's going downhill. It's not the same as what it used to be. It's not for the game anymore. It's for the money. It's not for football anymore. As long as they know they can get that big fat ass check, it's going to be pretty much that's all they care about. And they worship the money, pretty much. They worship it. A lot of people can disagree. I don't care. They can disagree all they want. I don't expect somebody or everybody to agree on everything I say. But the truth is that all they care about is their paycheck. Really, the only players I've seen that give a damn about winning and have love for the sport is Alex Highsmith, T.J. Watt, Aaron Donald. I mean, that's just to name 3 players. I don't know who else cares about this. Joey Porter Jr., which he doesn't have really a big contract, but still, people want to say, well, look at Caleb Williams. He's staying in college because he wants to play the rest of it out. And I didn't think about this, but him and Justin Fields are literally the same player. They're literally the same player. So what in the world would change? If you put him in the right system, okay, you get him in the right system. But what if he plays bad and continues that? Then everybody will start calling him a bust. But anyway, there's nothing else I can really come up with. I just hope that everything changes, man. I hope. But until the next video, I'll leave you with a little positive. Don't let anybody tell you who you should be or let them change you, because the people that you meet, if they're bad and they criticize you, don't listen to them. The people that become your friends and love you for your personality is who you belong with. And if you're going through a bad time with your mental health, just keep God with you and keep on pushing and being a hard worker. This life is drastically bad, but living life another day above ground is a better day for me. I mean, what is there to be happy about in this world? We can be happy about our life and try to be happy, but this world brings you down so much that you just don't. Like just the amount of disappointment in this world is so sad. But just remember to keep your heads up, and if you're going through a tough time, just keep your head up and don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to whoever criticizes you about the way you live. Keep on pushing, because they can easily criticize you and won't have to pay for it. You have to. That's the sad part. But again, if any of this advice helps you, I hope it does. And if you like this video that I made, leave